our national anthem. And that was the playing of our national anthem, thanks to the pep band here at Trico High School. Your starting lineup brought to you by Ashton Stevens, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. Leading off for Johnston City will be number 3, the junior Isaiah Watson. Our senior, number 13, Heath Nibbs. A junior, number 24, Connor Mowry. Big Smooth himself, number 30, Logan Hunter. And the big man himself standing at 6'7", number 34, Lath Huxworth. Indians are coached by Scott Brzezinski. And taking their huddle over here on the sideline as the Johnson City cheerleaders cheer on at center court. We apologize if there's some pauses in the radio stream as the internet is limited, so to speak, here at Trico High School. So we are trying our best to make sure everything stays on and be able to broadcast this ball game for you. Now the starting lineup for the Trico Pioneers. Leading off at one guard will be number 3, Gavin Wilkes. And another guard, number 11, Grady Reichenberg. Another guard, number 14, Brady Hines. At one forward, number 23, Keegan Brooks. And at the other forward, number 24, Logan Cleland. The Trico Pioneers huddling up at their free throw line as the Trico cheerleaders come out to start their routine. Trico Pioneers break their huddle and head to the bench. 3-quarter packed arena here at Trico High School. I've seen it simply before, just with delivering Coca-Cola here. Usually a PE class or two in the gymnasium, but never this full. Nice to see the atmosphere. Lath Huxworth in the center circle, as is number 24, that's Logan Cleland. There's the whistle, it's up, and it goes into the hands of Trico as Wilkes has the basketball and comes down on this side. That's on top of the key as he throws it back over here to Reichenberg. Reichenberg swings it down to Hines. Hines goes down to Cleland. Cleland back up to Reichenberg at the free throw line. He looks out, He finds Hines. Hines going down to the paint. Can't find it. Goes Reichenberg. Reichenberg trying to go up for two, and he's fouled. And he traveled. They said he picked up his pivot foot. Heath Nibbs out of bounds for Johnston City as he throws in to Connor Mallory. Mallory with the basketball, crossing the timeline, into Logan Hunter, right at the free throw line. Back out to Connor Mallory. Connor takes the basketball out to Logan. Logan drops the ball but holds it off and hands it to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs back to Connor Mallory. Mallory, there was a hand on Connor Mallory from Trico, and it was not called a foul. It was called a jump ball. Heath Nibbs out of bounds for Johnson City as he hands it in to Connor Mallory. Mallory with the basketball, down in the paint. Nope, back out to Lath. Over here to Isaiah Watson. Watson with the basketball, back up to Connor Mallory, top of the key. Connor goes over to Heath Nibbs on the far side. Heath Nibbs looking, finds Logan. Logan down in the paint, little step shot. Ooh, it bounces out. And now the rebound comes down to Gavin Wilkes. Wilkes crossing the timeline as he has his shoulder taped up, and I mean that in quite a literal sense. Looks like he just decided to put a bunch of sports tape all over his arm. Now Clellan with the basketball here on the near side. Clellan tries to get it in, and Logan Hunter has the basket. Oh, he almost got the steal, and it goes back to Brooks. Brooks swings it all the way over to Hines. Hines, little three-pointer, no good. And Lath Huxworth comes up with a rebound for Johnson City. Ahead to Connor Mallory. Fakes, down in the paint, up for two, off the glass, it's good. Connor Mallory scores two. And now Wilkes with the basketball crossing the timeline here on the near side. Back over to Hines. Hines goes down to the paint, up for two, and puts it up way too hard off the glass. And a long pass from Heath Nibbs up to Lath Huxworth. He tries for the quick layup, but it is too late. He's too far underneath the basket. And now Brooks with the basketball. He's fouled. Oh, he was called for a travel. Wow. And it'll be Johnson City basketball out of bounds. Heath Nibbs out of bounds for Johnson City as the ball is inbounded to Connor Mallory. Back to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs going quickly, crossing the timeline. Back to Connor Mallory, top of the key. Connor Mallory with the basketball as he dribbles back towards half court. Throws it over to Isaiah Watson here on the near side. Isaiah back to Logan, top of the key. Over to Heath Nibbs on the far side. Nibbs looking for the penetration. There's Connor. Connor, three ball. No, off the front of the rim. And it comes down to Wilkes. Wilkes crosses the timeline, looking for the penetration. He does. It goes down in the glass, into the paint, and it's a wild layup. As the ball is thrown down to Isaiah Watson with Johnson City getting the rebound. Up for two. Isaiah Watson scores two. And that's how we get 4 points up on the board. 5:09 left here in the first quarter. Wilkes crossing the timeline, top of the key, being guarded by Heath Nibbs. Throws off to Brooks on the far side. Brooks with the basketball. He's looking for the penetration. Nope, can't find it. He goes to Reichenberg. Reichenberg throws back over to Wilkes here on the near side corner. Wilkes goes back to number 14. That's Hines. Hines goes down to Clellan. Clellan jump shot. Nope, it's tipped by Lath Huxworth. Logan Hunter throws the ball ahead to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with the basketball as he throws back to Logan Hunter. Three ball. No, he gets in and out. Clellan up with the rebound. Throws ahead to Wilkes. Wilkes crossing the timeline, slowing everything down for the Trico Pioneers. Throws off to Clellan on the far side. Clellan back to Brooks. Brooks top of the key. Throws over to Wilkes on this side. Back to Clellan top of the key. Clellan three ball. No. It goes into the hands of Heath Nibbs. Or excuse me, to Lath Huxworth over to Heath Nibbs. There's a long, hard pass. And Nibbs says, my bad, buddy. My bad. 4:15 left here in the first quarter. 4-0 is the score. Johnson City's lead. Wilkes now with the basketball as he dribbles and crosses the timeline. Wilkes throws off to number 33. That is Johnson. He's the newest sub for Trico Pioneers. Clellan with the basketball now. Top of the key between the circles as Clellan goes up. And the ball is tipped by Lath Huxworth and thrown off of his chest out of bounds. It'll be Trico's basketball. 3:54 left here in the first quarter. 4-0 is the score. Johnson City's lead. Clellan out of bounds as he sets and looks. He throws it high and wide for Johnson. Johnson throws back over to Brooks on the far side. Brooks with the basketball going back to Hines, top of the key. Hines dribbles down, throws down to Johnson. Johnson, 3-ball, no, in and out. As Hines goes back up for 2, no good. And Hines goes back up again. No, it doesn't still fall. Hines with a third chance. He scores and it won. My Atlanta. Brady Hines scores 2 and gets a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Foul is going to be on number 3. That's Isaiah Watson. It's his first, team's first. Shots up and good. Brady Hines scores 3 with a bucket in the old-fashioned three-point play. Connor Mallory crossing the timeline, back over to Heath Nibbs here on the near side. Nibbs throwing over to Logan. Logan going to Isaiah. Isaiah right down in the paint. Nope, feeds it off to Lath. Lath gets the ball knocked out of his hands as his arms were slapped away. Hines with the basketball over to Brooks. Brooks with the basketball looking, trying to get into Wilkes. Wilkes is rejected by Lath Huxworth. Heath Nibbs comes up with the loose ball. Nibbs looking as he gets a reach in for Trico. No call. Nibbs down to the paint. Up for 2. It's good. Heath Nibbs scores 2. Makes it 6-3. 2:59 left here in the first quarter. Wilkes with the basketball crossing the timeline. As Wilkes stops top of the key. Brooks with a 15-footer. No good. And it comes down and blocked out by Johnson. Johnson gets another shot at it. And there's a foul. It'll be 2 shots. Lath Huxworth will get his first, team's second. And to the line to shoot will be number 33. That is Johnson. 2:45 left here in the first quarter. 6-3 is the score. Johnson sets at the line, bounces, and here's the shot. It's good. Make that 4-6. 2:45 left here in the first quarter. Johnson with his second attempt. Shot is up, and no good. Lath Huxworth comes down with a rebound. Lath with the basketball as he finds Connor. Connor now with the basketball as he's being guarded heavily with the 10-second count is on. He's trying to force his way across the timeline. He does. Down in the paint, off the glass, 2, and yes, he'll get a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Foul is on number 14. That's Brady Hines, his first, team's first. And to the line to shoot 1 will be Connor Mallory. He dribbles. Shot is good. And that is 9-4. And there is a 30-second timeout. We will take one as well. 2:30 left here in the first quarter. Johnson City 9, Trico 4. We'll be right back on Monster Radio WGGH.
Is your dog a part of your tribe? Don't forget your pup needs pampered too. Locally owned by Jesney Barton, Tails to Nose will have your pup pampered and smelling fresh and clean. And now they are offering boarding as well. Located at 610 Adams Street in Johnson City. You can call or text to book an appointment with Jesney at 618-922-5415. You will love Tails to Nose, and your fur baby will too. Isn't that right, Brownie? You want to go see Jesney? Okay, let's go.
Let's go indeed. Tails to Nails, dog grooming, and more. All for you here in Johnson City. Thank you to all our sponsors who help out with Johnson City broadcasts and promotions, etc. We appreciate you very much. Able to bring us this game on the internet tonight. Wilkes with the basketball for Trico as he crosses the timeline and throws it over to Brooks here on the near side. Brooks gets a screen from Clellan. Throws it back over to Hines. Hines goes baseline, looking. 5-second, nope. He throws it out to Wilkes. Wilkes throws back over to Clellan. Clellan stays out beyond the three-point line as he throws it back to Wilkes. Wilkes throws back to Hines, top of the key. Hines goes down to the paint, jump stop, nope. And he picks up his loose ball, and he throws back out to Brooks, top of the key now. Brooks throws it over to Johnson on the far side. Brooks trying, and Heath Nibbs gets a steal. Heath Nibbs goes strong up, and the ball is blocked by Clellan. The home crowd erupts. And it'll be Johnson City ball out of bounds. Minute 48 left here in the first quarter. 9-4, Johnson City's lead. Out to Logan Hunter. Hunter throws over to Lath. Lath gets 2. Oh, yes. Lath got the little hop step, and it puts up for 2. 11-4 is the score here. Minute 35 left in the first quarter. Wilkes throws over to Johnson on the far side for Trico. Back into Hines. Hines down to the paint. He's looking, and there's a foul. It'll be on Lath Huxworth. Huxworth got him with the body, and that'll be his second, team's third. Into the ball game comes Boston Payton and Nolan Causey, replacing Isaiah Watson and Logan Hunter. Minute 27 left here in the first quarter as Wilkes is outside, and he throws it into Hines. Hines back over to Brooks here on the near side as Brooks stops and throws down to Johnson. Johnson back out to Wilkes here on the near side. Wilkes, he finds Hines finds Brooks over to Wilkes, back over to Hines. Hines looking, and he finds the loose ball over to Brooks. Brooks going to Clellan. Clellan with the basketball. As he's looking down on the baseline, he stutter steps, no call for the travel, as Johnson gets a shot at the three, no, and Wilkes puts it back up for two, no good, and the ball comes up to Nolan Causey. Causey, loose ball was picked up by Heath Nibbs going out of bounds. He threw it off of Trico, and it will be Johnson City basketball. 53.2 seconds left here in the first quarter. 50 seconds now as Connor Mowry crosses the timeline over to Nolan Causey on the far side. Nolan feeds it into Boston Payton. Payton to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs, three ball, gets pushed away at the shot, and he will get a three-shot foul. Keegan Brooks is the perpetrator there. His first, team's second, and Heath Nibbs will go to line to shoot three. 41.3 seconds. Shot is up and good. Heath Nibbs scores one. And Keaton Fort is going in for the shooter, so he has to wait. Shots up and good. Heath Nibbs is for shot number two. I'm sorry, he's going to replace Lath Huxworth. Keaton Fort replacing Lath Huxworth here, as Huxworth has two fouls early here in the game. Shots up, three shots, all good for Heath Nibbs. And yes, sir, make them count. Clellan with the basketball, back to Wilkes. Wilkes crossing the timeline, 35 seconds left here in the first quarter. As Wilkes takes the basketball, throws over to Hines on the far side. Hines with the basketball as he looks left, looks right, feeds it over here to Johnson. Johnson picked up his pivot foot, but no call from the referee. Back over to Brooks. Brooks swings it over to Hines in the far corner. Hines dribbles back this way, goes over to Wilkes. Wilkes down to the paint as he traveled, but no call. And Gavin Wilkes will score two. Nolan Causey with 9 seconds left. Throws it all the way over to Heath Nibbs. Back to Connor Mowry, top of the key. He goes back and stolen by Wilkes. Wilkes shot at the buzzer way too high, and that is how the first quarter will end. Johnson City 14, Trico 6. We'll be right back on Monster Radio WGGH.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Illinois. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Illinois High School Association and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association. Monster Radio WGGH presents Uncaged. Studios in Marion, featuring Tim Petrowich and Justin Walker, and their take on high school and local sports, as well as college and professional. Heard every Saturday morning at 10:30 on Monster Radio, AM 1150, 98.5 FM, WGGH.net, and the Monster Radio app.
And we are back to Trico High School as we get ready to start quarter number 2. Johnson City 14, Trico Pioneers 6. And in possession is the Trico basketball. Isaiah Watson, Heath Nibbs, Nolan Causey, Keaton Ford, and Boston Payton into the ball game. Going to start quarter number 2. Wilkes with the basketball over to Hines on the far side. Hines swings it all the way down to Brooks on the far side corner. Back to Wilkes, top of the key. Wilkes throws back down to Brooks. Brooks looking as he finds Wilkes. Wilkes back over to Johnson. Johnson swings over to Hines. Hines looking for the penetration. There's Clellan, and Isaiah Watson will get another foul. That'll be his second, team's fourth. And out of bounds for Trico. Wilkes looking, and he finds Johnson here on the near side. Throws it into Clellan. Clellan dump steps, and good for 2. Logan Clellan scores 2. Heath Nibbs now with the basketball across the timeline. Off to Isaiah Watson, back to Noah Causey. Causey, 3-ball, no, off the side of the rim. And there's a foul. It's going to be on Trico. Fouls on white number 3. That's Gavin Wilkes, his first, team's third. And out of bounds for Johnson City. Noah Causey with the basketball as he stops, steps, and feeds it into Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with the basketball here on the near side. Throws it off to Isaiah Watson, top of the key between the circles. Back over to Noah Causey on the far side. Back to Boston Payton. Payton down with the basketball. And there's a foul on Nolan Causey, pushed over a Trico defender. His first, team's fifth. And Trico will get the basketball back. 7-12 left here in the second quarter. 14-8 is the score, Johnson City's lead, as Trico battles back here in the second quarter. Brooks with the basketball as he throws out to Hines, top of the key. Hines looking side to side, and he throws back to Clellan. Clellan with the basketball. He swings all the way over to Brooks here on the near side. Back into Clellan. Clellan and gets fouled on the hand, and that'll be his third. Team sixth, out of bounds for Clellan with the basketball. He finds Brooks. Brooks going up for 2. Good. Keegan Brooks scores 2. Makes it 14-10. As Heath Nibbs throws to Boston Payton, top of the key. Boston Payton down at the free throw line. Throws out to Keaton Ford. Ford back over to Heath Nibbs here on this side. Nibbs here on the near side. Throws over to Isaiah Watson. Watson goes to Noah Causey. Causey down to the paint. Being pushed off of. No call from the referee. Boston Payton with the putback. Thank you, Boston Payton. 6:20 left here in the second quarter as they throw ahead to Johnson for Trico. Over to Hines. Hines top of the key, down in the paint. He fakes out to Brooks. Brooks goes baseline, feeds it back over to Wilkes. Wilkes, 3-ball, good. Gavin Wilkes scores 3, and it is 16-13. Trico making it a game here in the second quarter. Keaton Ford passes in, goes back out to Isaiah Watson. Watson loses the basketball and goes to Trico. Trico, and stolen by Heath Nibbs. Nibbs throws it off of Trico, and it'll be Johnson City basketball. Heads up play by Heath Nibbs as Isaiah Watson is replaced by Connor Mowry, and Logan Hunter replaces Keaton Ford. 5:51 left here in the second quarter. 16-13 is the score. And the referee handing it off to Heath Nibbs. Throws out to Connor Mowry, top of the key. 5:49 left here in the second quarter. Connor Mowry with the basketball, side to side, going to Nolan Causey. Causey over to Hunter. Hunter back to Connor Mowry. Mowry feeds it back up to Nibbs. Nibbs, 3-ball, no, off the back of the rim. And Clellan gets the rebound for Trico. Goes over to Wilkes. Wilkes over to Clellan. Clellan crossing the timeline. Back over to Wilkes on the far side. Wilkes with the basketball, looking side to side. He finds Clellan top of the key. Clellan goes down into the paint and gets a moving screen. No call from the referee. Out to Johnson. It's over to Hines. Hines, 3-ball, good. Brady Hines scores 3 and makes it 16 up. A tie ball game here as Heath Nibbs throws out to Connor Mowry. Mowry down, then throws back out to Noah Causey. Causey picks up his foot before he dribbles. 5:01 left here in the second quarter. 16-all tie ball game. And Coach Scott Brzezinski wants a timeout. We will take one as well. Johnson City 16, Trico 16. We'll be right back on Monster Radio, WGGH.
Colson's Heating and Cooling in Johnston City is 4 generations long and is family owned and operated, serving Johnston City and all of southern Illinois since 1961. Colson's proudly uses Amana, provides professional installations, HVAC service, and has 24-hour emergency service. If you need anything related to heating and cooling, call Colson's Heating and Cooling at 618-983-8133. Colson's Heating and Cooling, a proud supporter of Johnston City's athletics. Roll Tribe!
Roll Tribe indeed, as we return here to Trico High School. 5:01 left in the second quarter. 16-16 is our score. Trico ball out of bounds. As they throw into Clellan. Clown with the basketball across the timeline over to Wilkes on the far side. Wilkes as he sets and follows it to Johnson, top of the key. Johnson with the basketball over to Clellan. Clellan fakes a three as he backs up again and tries to reset the offense. Clellan with the basketball over to Johnson. Johnson swings it over to Starkey. Starkey with the basketball back to Hines, top of the key. Hines feeds it into Clellan at the free throw line. Long jump shot, no. And Logan Hunter comes up with a rebound. Throws it ahead to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with the basketball crossing the timeline, going hard down in the paint, throws it back up to Lath. Lath over to Connor. Connor, three ball, no. Boston Payton with the putback, it's good. Boston Payton with the putback, and he'll get a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Fouls on Gavin Wilkes, that's his second, team's fourth. And Boston Payton goes the line to shoot one. Shots up. Good. And that is Wilkes getting replaced. By Brooks. Brooks coming back into the ball game for Trico. Hines with the basketball over to Starkey. Starkey as he looks over to Clellan. Clellan, three ball from the corner. No. Off the inside. And there's a push off from Trico. And Lath Huxworth was unable to come up with a rebound. Hines with the basketball over here to Brooks. Brooks here on the near side corner. Back out to Hines. Swings it over to Starkey. Starkey looking. Back over here to Brooks. Brooks looking down in the paint. He can't get the penetration that he wants. He throws back out to Starkey, top of the key. Starkey tries to reset it, throws over to Clellan over on the far side. Clellan with the basketball. He feeds it right in the hands of Heath Nibbs. Nibbs going strong, coast to coast, goes up for two, and he's fouled. Starkey will get a block. And fouls on 10. Starkey, that's his first, team's fifth. Going to line to shoot two will be Heath Nibbs for the Johnson City Indians. Shots up, good. Wilkes into the ball game, replacing Brooks. 3:33 left here in the second quarter. 20-16 is the score. Johnson City lead. Shot is up. Good. Heath Nibbs. As the ball's thrown into Wilkes for Trico. 3:30 left here in the first half. 21-16 is the score as Trico has the basketball over to Wilkes. And Wilkes goes back to Clellan. Clellan back to Hines. Hines back over to Wilkes. Wilkes with the basketball, back over to Hines. Hines down near the paint, but he can't find penetration. Oh, he throws into Wilkes. Wilkes got the penetration and scores two. 21-18 as Connor Mallory with the basketball. He fakes the three, sets back, and top of the key between the circles. Back over to Logan Hunter. Over to Boston Payton in the far corner. Throws back to Lath Huxworth. Huxworth over to Nibbs. Nibbs back to Huxworth, and there's a push foul once again that does not get called off of Trico. 2:47 left here in the second quarter. Wilkes now with the basketball over to Hines on the far side. Hines down to Starkey. Starkey back up to Wilkes. Wilkes over to Johnson. Johnson back to Wilkes, top of the key. Wilkes over to Johnson here on the near side as Johnson throws back to Wilkes. Wilkes looking side to side as he goes back over to Hines on the far side. Hines back to Wilkes. Wilkes back to Johnson. Johnson here on the near side as he looks left, looks right, feeds it back to Wilkes. Wilkes fakes the penetration as he goes down to Johnson. Johnson pops the three. No. Off the inside of the rim. And ball is kept inbounds by Trico going all the way into Johnson City's hands. And the foul's on 24. That's going to be on Clellan. That's his first, team sixth. And out of bounds for Johnson City. 2:12 left here in the second quarter. 21-18 is the score. And Boston Payton gets the inbound as Boston sets and hands it off to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with the basketball. Out by half court as he dribbles left, dribbles right, gets a screen from Lath, throws out to Connor. Connor, three ball, no. And the ball comes down to Lath. Lath spots, goes down to Boston. Boston back up and throws over to Connor. Connor floats it, no. And Lath Huxworth comes up with a putback for two. Minute 43 left here in the second quarter. 23-18 is the score. Wilkes with the basketball. Crosses the timeline as Lath Huxworth guards him. Throws over to Johnson on the far side. Johnson back to Wilkes, top of the key, over to Hines here on the near side. Hines back over to Starkey in the corner. Starkey throws all the way over to Johnson. Johnson back to Wilkes, top of the key. Wilkes dribbling left as he throws right over here to Hines. Back over to Wilkes, over to Johnson on the far side. Now over to Hines here on the near side. Hines looking, goes down on the baseline and throws into Clellan. Clellan goes into Wilkes, and Wilkes goes out to Hines. Hines down in the paint, up for two, and he traveled. And a minute 2 left here in the second quarter. Logan Hunter inbounds to Connor Mowry. Minute left here in the first half. 23-18 is the score. Connor Mowry quickly taking the basketball as he throws over to Logan Hunter. Hunter on the far side corner. He throws it in, tries to throw it in to Boston Payton, and Wilkes gets the steal. Wilkes going quickly down on this end as Wilkes fakes the inside, goes back to Hines. Hines back to Wilkes, top of the key. And Wilkes is getting the sign for one play. Over to Johnson. Johnson back to Starkey. Starkey back to Wilkes. Wilkes down in the paint. Out to Hines. Hines to Clellan. Clellan right at the free throw line as he backs up beyond the three-point line. 25 seconds left here in the first half. Clellan with the basketball backs up near half court. And he's trying to get away from Lath Hawksworth, who's trying to guard him all the way out there. And he throws it back to Wilkes. 13 seconds. 10. As Clellan gets the penetration, there's a foul. It'll be on Boston Payton. His first, team 7th, and they go to the line to shoot 1-on-1. Clellan heads to the line to shoot 1-on-1. 8.5 seconds left here in the first half. Clellan sets the line, bounces the ball. Here's his shot. It's good. He'll get a second. 23-19 is the score. Clellan sets the line. Shots up, and no good. The rebound comes down to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with 5 seconds, 4, 3, down in the paint, up for 2, scores, and that is how the first half will end. Heath Nibbs puts in a layup at the 1 second to go, and that is how the first half will come to a close. Johnson City 25, Trico 19. We got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Monster Radio, WGGH.
Whether you're looking for an upgrade or you have damage after the last storm, call on Cardinal Claim Consulting, Roofing and Interiors. Owned and operated by Johnston City High School alum Dewey Morgan, Cardinal Claim Consulting will work with homeowners who may have damage from wind or hailstorms, as well as homeowners who are just looking to upgrade. Give them a call at 1-833-52-STORM. That's 1-833-52-STORM. Locally owned, licensed, and insured, Cardinal Claim Consulting is a proud supporter of Johnston City Athletics. Roll Tribe!
Your go-to spot in Johnson City is Lineman's Lounge. Whether it's before or after the big game, Lineman's Lounge has you covered. On the gridiron, on the court, or between the lines, your go-to spot has to be Lineman's Lounge. Check out their daily specials, listen to live music on weekends, and they always are hosting local benefits. Go see the amazing staff at Lineman's Lounge, 100 East Broadway in Johnson City. Roll Tribe.
A fabric of the community for nearly 40 years, Jeannie's Magic Touch is a staple in Johnson City. Jeannie's Magic Touch have and will continue to support Indian athletics. Whether it's an Indian needing the right haircut or mama needing a new tan, Jeannie's Magic Touch has you covered. Come see Jeannie and Leslie at 1009 Grand Avenue or give them a call at 648-983-5552. Jeannie's Magic Touch is all things Indian athletics.
When they ask, why would you go anywhere else? It's not just a slogan. They mean it. They mean it with the one-on-one attention they give students. They mean it with the quality instruction and programs of study they offer. They mean it with their affordable tuition. They mean it when they want to live up to the mission of serving all students in the best way possible. Now you can look elsewhere, but when you ask your friends, your family, or anyone else that has ever attended John A. Logan College, they'll tell you, why would you go anywhere else? And they'll mean it.
And as we return here to halftime, the pep band is playing along, keeping the crowd entertained here at Trico High School. The Trico Pioneers scoring summary. Gavin Wilkes has 7 points up on the board. He's got 5 points in the second quarter and 2 points there in the first quarter. Brady Hines has 6 points. He's got a three-pointer there in the second quarter, and he had a bucket with the old-fashioned three-point play in the first quarter. Keegan Brooks has 2 points up on the board for the Trico Pioneers. Logan Clellan has 3 points up on the board. He's 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. And Johnson for the Trico Pioneers is 1 for 2 from the charity stripe as well. We will take another short break and be right back. You're listening to Monster Radio, WGGH.
Private funeral home located at 1008 West Broadway Boulevard is family-owned and operated and has been serving Johnson City and the surrounding communities of Southern Illinois for many years. We at Powell Funeral Home are dedicated to helping families during what can be the most difficult times in life. We will be there to assist you every step of the way, ensuring the most personalized, well-thought-out service. Our dedicated staff will provide support, compassion, and information throughout your journey of grief. It is always an honor for our family to assist your family in celebrating your loved one's life. Pyle Funeral Home is owned and operated by Darren and Shelley Pyle. We are honored to be a part of the rich history of our community and proud supporters of Indian athletics. Give us a call at 618-983-7777 or visit pylefuneralhome.com for more information.
Family crises can come unexpectedly, whether it be divorce, child custody, or putting a will together. Johnson City native Megan Rich, attorney at law, can help you through the process, along with a happier process, such as adoption. A lawyer since 2004, Megan Rich has seen the ups and downs, trials, and tribulations from every angle. Now her focus is family law. For more information, give her a call at 618-579-0579 or stop by the office at 611 North Court Street in Marion to schedule an appointment.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready for all things Johnston City? From Indian athletics to the Johnston City community, check out jctptalk.com.
Do it now.
And back to the halftime as Johnson City currently leads the Trico Pioneers 25-19. Off just a little over 5 minutes remaining here in this halftime. Looking at the Johnson City Indians, Boston Payton has 5 points up on the board. He's got 2 buckets along with an old-fashioned three-point play free throw. Isaiah Watson has 2 points up on the board. Heath Nibbs has got 7 points up on the board. I'm sorry, that's 9 points. I apologize. He's got 9 points up on the board. Connor Mallory's got 5 points up on the board with the old-fashioned three-point play. And Lath Huxworth has 4 points up on the board as well. Johnston City outscored the Trico Pioneers by 8 in the first quarter. And the second quarter came with the Trico Pioneers fighting back and outscoring the Indians by 2. So that is where it leaves us with our 6-point lead. And we are trying to get ready for the second half action as getting ready here with all the stats, all the statistics, and making sure we got everything covered right here on Monster Radio WGGH. We thank you for tuning in, turning us on, whether you're listening online, WGGH.net, or if you're listening on the worldwide app, anywhere in the world, search WGGH Radio on iOS or Android. You can listen to podcasts. You can listen to any of the WGGH.net channels, whether it be Marion Boys, Marion Girls, Johnson City Boys, or Johnson City Girls. Download it and try it out today. A little over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes left here in the halftime, so we will take another break and be right back. You're listening to Monster Radio, WGGH.
IBEW Local 702, an international brotherhood of electrical workers, has more than 4,500 members. Working men and women in hard hats, steel-toed boots, and leather gloves scattered throughout the heartland, making a living while making the heartland a better place to live. IBEW Local 702 represents construction workers, tree trimmers, broadcast engineering, telephone company, and power utility personnel. IBEW Local 702 with offices in West Frankfort.
You're just a few taps away from crispy, golden, and delicious. A scroll from refreshment bliss. A mere click stands between you and a tasty treat. Get the McDonald's app with mobile order and pay and stay connected to all your favorites. Get a free 10-piece chicken McNuggets when you download the McDonald's app. Valid 2/7 through 2/27/22 at participating McDonald's. One-time use only. McD app download and registration required.
The Johnston City Indians strive for excellence in athletics. And at Johnston City Unit 1 schools, the administration, Board of Education, and faculty strive for excellence in the classroom as well. The mission of Johnston City schools is to prepare their students for life in the 21st century. Johnston City teachers and coaches want to produce students who are value-driven, problem-solving, critical thinkers, ready for life beyond high school. From math champions to sports champions, Johnston City has set the bar high. Good luck, Indians, in all your endeavors from Johnston City Unit 1.
When they ask, why would you go anywhere else? It's not just a slogan, they mean it. They mean it with the one-on-one attention they give students. They mean it with the quality instruction and programs of study they offer. They mean it with their affordable tuition. They mean it when they want to live up to the mission of serving all students in the best way possible. Now you can look elsewhere, but when you ask your friends, your family, or anyone else that has ever attended John A. Logan College, they'll tell you, why would you go anywhere else? And they'll mean it.
And why would you go anywhere else but John A. Logan College, our sponsor for the star of the game? It's John A. Logan College. And tonight, the leading members is Heath Nibbs. He's got 9 points up on the board. And also Boston Payton and Connery's got 5 points each. So they are leading members for our John A. Logan. Why would you go anywhere else? Star of the game. Just under a minute here as the buzzer sounds, and it looks like they are going to put, Coach Scott presents he's going to put in the starting five, I believe, looking at who he's talking to here in the huddle. Heath Nibbs, Connor Mowry, Isaiah Watson, Logan Hunter, and Lath Huxworth set up. And it is Johnson City's basketball to start the second half. 25-19 is the score. Third quarter action getting ready to start here. We apologize for no Facebook Live. Unfortunately, I can hear banjos from where I'm sitting, so there's not a lot of cell phone service. Connor Mowry inbounding the basketball to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs quickly taking it here on the near side to Connor Mowry down in the corner. Connor Mowry back to Heath Nibbs, top of the key. Back to over to Connor Mowry in the corner. Back to Nibbs. Nibbs dribbles down in. Back over to Connor. Connor into Lath. Lath out to Logan. Logan three ball. No, it doesn't fall. As Isaiah Watson comes up with a rebound. Throws back out to Logan. Over to Heath. Heath, long three ball. No, off back of the rim. And Isaiah Watson gets the basketball, but it's called as a jump ball. And Trico will have possession. 7:31 left here in the third quarter. 25-19 is the score. Trico with the basketball out of bounds, throwing it into Wilkes. Wilkes with the basketball crossing the timeline as he dribbles up the floor. Looking over to Johnson on the far side. He throws, and Johnson has the basketball into Clellan. Clellan tries a spin move. Nope. And to Johnson. Nope. It's rejected. And Lath Huxworth gets a blocking foul. And Coach Scott Brzezinski not happy with that one. That's his third. Team's first of the half. Boston Payton headed into the basketball game to take and replace Lath Huxworth. Wilkes with the basketball. Out of bounds as he throws in. It's knocked out of bounds off of Johnson City. It'll be Trico basketball. 7:13 left here in the third quarter. 25-19 still the score. As Wilkes looking. There is a fouls on Logan Hunter. That's his first, team's second. And out of bounds for Wilkes once again. And they end it to Clellan. Clellan loses it to Boston Payton. Payton loses it. And a push off from Wilkes. Wilkes puts it up for two. No. Boston Payton comes down with a rebound over to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with the basketball on the far side. As Nibbs fakes it, goes into Boston. Boston goes up for two. No good. As he's body checked as he tried to go into the paint. Clellan taking the ball all the way down. And number 3, Gavin Wilkes, finds a hole in the defense and puts it up for two. 25-21. 6:40 left here in the third quarter. Connor Mowry stopping just before the timeline, crossing it now as he throws over to Heath Nibbs here on the near side. Back to Boston Payton, at the free throw line. Back over to Connor. Connor back out to Isaiah. Isaiah throws back over to Heath. Heath here on the near side as he dribbles back towards top of the key. Throws out to Connor Mowry. Mowry now with the basketball. There's a foul. It's a reach in for Hines. Hines gets his second foul. Team's first of the half. And out of bounds for Johnson City. Heath Nibbs with the basketball. 6:18 left here in the third quarter. Inbounds to Connor Mowry. Mowry looking side to side as he goes baseline. It's cut off by Hines. He throws back out to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs back to Connor Mowry here on the near side. And throws back out to Nibbs. Nibbs over to Watson. Watson on the far side over to Logan Hunter. Hunter with the basketball. He feeds it into Connor Mowry right at the free throw line. Connor going. Oh, there's a big grab by Trico. But no call. 14 is Brady Hines. That's his third, team's second. And going to the line to shoot two will be Heath Nibbs. It's good. Shot. That's good. Good. 2 shots for Heath Nibbs. Into the ball game comes Starkey. He's going to replace Hines. 5:55 left here in the third quarter. And coach apparently didn't want to take out Hines, but that's who came out of the ball game. Wilkes now with the basketball for Trico. He crosses the timeline, throws over here to Johnson. Johnson back to Wilkes, top of the key, as Wilkes pushes off of Isaiah Watson. No call. Starkey out with the basketball. Back over to Clellan. Clellan with the basketball as he dribbles top of the key. Goes back over to Brooks here on the near side. Back into Clellan. Clellan steps out of bounds and no, I'm sorry. They're calling a foul on Heath Nibbs. It's his first, team's third. And out of bounds for Wilkes. Wilkes now with the basketball, feeds into Clellan. Clellan with the wide open, and Wilkes scores the layup. 5:32 left here in the third quarter. Clock's not running. And Boston Payton throws over to Connor Mowry. Mowry back to Watson. Watson down in the paint, up for two. No. And they're going to call on 10. That's Starkey. That's his second, team's third of the half. As 5:23 is on the clock now here in the third quarter. 27-23. Johnson City's lead by 4. Heath Nibbs with the basketball as he throws it into Logan Hunter. Hunter feeds it over to Boston. Boston into Connor. Connor spins, up for two, floats it in, it's good. Connor Mowry scores 2. And now he's got 7 up on the board. Wilkes with the basketball, crossing the timeline for Trico. 5:05 left here in the third quarter as he throws off to Starkey. Starkey on the far side, dribbling back towards top of the key, back over to Brooks. Brooks with the basketball on the far side as he looks for penetration, can't find it, throws to Johnson in the far side corner. Johnson with the basketball as he throws back to Starkey, top of the key between the circles, back over to Johnson, swings it all the way over here to Wilkes. Wilkes with the basketball as he throws down to Starkey here on the near side corner. Back over to Johnson. Johnson back over to Brooks. Brooks fakes the 3, and he almost picks up his pivot foot as he tries to go in and get some penetration back into Clellan. Clellan misses the layup, and Isaiah Watson comes quickly back with the basketball. Back over to Boston. Boston goes down up for 2. Good. Boston Payton scores 2, and now Wilkes takes the basketball out of bounds. Clellan fist bumps it back to him. 31-23. Johnson City's lead. 4:13 left here in the third quarter. Back to Wilkes, top of the key between the circles. Wilkes looking left and right as he throws to Johnson here on the near side. Johnson looking, and he throws over to Starkey on the far side now. Starkey throws back over to Wilkes. Wilkes in the far side corner, back to Brooks. Brooks over here on Johnson. Johnson over to Starkey in the corner. And throws into Clellan. Clellan spins, goes up for 2, and Boston Payton gets a foul. It'll be his second, team's 4th. 2 shots to the line for Clellan as he will shoot 2. 3:52 left here in the third quarter. 31-23 is the score. Clellan goes to the line to shoot 2. Shots up and no good. Bounced it off the front of the rim. Cleland is 1 for 3 so far this ball game. Shots up and good. He's 2 for 4. And now Heath Nibbs with the basketball. Throws over to Connor Mallory here on the near side. Back over to Isaiah Watson on the far side. Watson back to Nibbs between the circles, top of the key. Back over to Connor Mallory here on the near side. To Watson, top of the key, looking. He throws to Heath Nibbs on the far side into Boston Payton at the free throw line. Boston goes back out to Isaiah. Isaiah fakes, goes down to the paint, up for 2, floats it in, it's good. Isaiah Watson scores 2. Ball inbounded to Wilkes from Cleland. Wilkes taking the basketball as he looks for penetration. Throws back to Cleland here on the near side. 3:15 left here in the third quarter. Back to Brooks, swings it over to Wilkes on the far side. Back to Cleland. Cleland, 3-ball, top of the key, good. Cleland scores 3 and makes it 33-27. Heath Nibbs with the basketball as he fakes it out to Isaiah Watson. Watson back over to Connor Mallory on the far side. Connor looking at finds Isaiah Watson. Watson spins, goes up for 2 off the glass. Logan Hunter with the putback. Putback again as he's fouled, and it's good. Logan Hunter for the old-fashioned three-point play. Fouls on 33. That is Johnson. That's his first, team's 4th of the half. Nolan Causey will replace Isaiah Watson. And Isaiah Watson gets a good hard slap on the hind end from Coach Scott Brzezinski. Good job for Isaiah Watson. Shots up. Big smooth, makes it count. For old-fashioned three-point play as Keaton Fort replaces Logan Hunter. Good hustle by Logan. Cleland inbounding the basketball to Wilkes. Wilkes as he throws over to Brooks in the far side corner. And Brooks is looking back to Johnson. Johnson top of the key, back over to Brooks. Brooks trying to find Cleland. He can't. A good defense by Johnson City. Over to Wilkes here on the near side. Wilkes looking, throws it back over to Brooks in the near corner. Brooks looking, he feeds into Cleland. Cleland trying to get that penetration. Johnson City playing really good defense. Shot from the free throw line, no good, off the back of the rim. Connor Mallory now with a quick breakaway as he goes down in the paint, up for 2. Good. Oh, they called a travel, saying that he stopped with both feet before he went up. Okay. 12-12 left here in the third quarter, 36-27. Inbounded to Wilkes for Trico. Trico crossing the timeline as he looks left, looks right, and he is going down, throws out to Johnson, and there's a charge. Fouls a white 3, that's on Gavin Wilkes, that's his 3rd, team's 5th. And that was just blatant by Wilkes. Heath Nibbs inbounds the basketball. Johnson coming out of the ball game. Being replaced by number 11, Reichenberg. And Connor Mallory picked up his foot. And now it's a travel on Johnson City. Inbounded to Wilkes from Brooks. 1:50 left here in the third quarter. 36-27 as Reichenberg comes back into the ball game. And he hands it down to Cleland. Cleland looking. He goes back up to Brooks, top of the key. Brooks looking side to side. Goes back to Reichenberg. Reichenberg looking side to side also as well. Back out to Cleland, top of the key. Cleland with the basketball as he dribbles here to the near side. Spins down in the paint. Up for 2. Hook shot, no good. Wilkes comes up with a rebound. Blocked by Keaton Fort. And Keaton Fort comes up with a rebound for Johnson City. Heath Nibbs goes down in the paint. Goes up for 2. No good, but he's going to shoot for 2. Fouls on 23. That's on Keegan Brooks, his 2nd, team 6th. And Heath Nibbs go to the line to shoot 2. Minute 18 left here in this third quarter. Shots up, and no good. It's off the front of the rim. Into the basketball game comes Johnson, and he'll replace Cleland. Cleland's red in the face. He's been playing for the majority of this ball game. Shots up, and no good. It's in and out, and the ball comes down to Johnson. Goes ahead quickly to Wilkes. Wilkes goes down in the paint. No, gives no time. Brooks with a little 10-footer, no good, as Keaton Fort comes down with a rebound. Ahead to Nolan Causey. Causey ahead to Connor. Connor going up for 2, off the glass, good. Connor Mallory scores 2, And there is a timeout of some sort. Wilkes cannot move his right arm, and he is holding it with a clenched fist, or at least as much as he can. He must have popped his shoulder out of place. And inbounded to Starkey. Starkey with the basketball. He throws over to Johnson here on the near side. Back up Starkey, top of the key. And it's stolen by Nolan Causey. Causey going down to the paint. Hands it back to Keaton Fort. Layup is good. Keaton Fort scores 2. And now inbounded to Starkey from Reichenberg. 37 seconds left here in the third quarter. It is 40-27. Johnson City's lead. Starkey with the basketball. Goes over to Johnson on the far side. Back to Brooks. Brooks to Starkey, top of the key. Starkey fakes a 3 as he dribbles left and right. Then goes back to Johnson. Over to Hines. Hines back to Johnson. Fakes a 3 once again. It goes back to Starkey. Back to Hines. Hines, 3 ball. Good. Brady Hines scores 3 and makes it 40-30. Heath Nims goes down in the paint for 2, and it's going to be 2 shots for Heath Nims. 23, that's Keegan Brooks, his third. That's team's 7th. And now going to the line to shoot 2 is Heath Nims. 9.1 seconds left here in the third quarter. Shots up, and no good. Once again, short. Logan Hunter replacing Boston Payton. Into the ball game, Clellan is going to replace Reichenberg. 9.1 seconds here in the third quarter. 40-30. Johnson City's lead by 10. Second shot for Heath Nims. It's good. And Clellan gets the ball inbounded. Clellan as he backs the ball. And 5 seconds, he crosses the timeline. 3 ball. Good. Wow. Clellan hits a 3. And a long throw from Johnson City. No good as the third quarter ends that way. Johnson City 41, Trico 33. We'll be right back. You're listening to Monster Radio, WGGH.
The Johnston City Indians strive for excellence in athletics. And at Johnston City Unit 1 schools, the administration, Board of Education, and faculty strive for excellence in the classroom as well. The mission of Johnston City schools is to prepare their students for life in the 21st century. Johnston City teachers and coaches want to produce students who are value-driven, problem-solving, critical thinkers ready for life beyond high school. From math champions to sports champions, Johnston City has set the bar high. Good luck, Indians, in all your endeavors from Johnston City Unit 1. Whether you're looking for an upgrade or you have damage after the last storm, call on Cardinal Claim Consulting, Roofing and Exteriors. Owned and operated by Johnston City High School alum Dewey Morgan, Cardinal Claim Consulting will work with homeowners who may have damage from wind or hailstorms, as well as homeowners who are just looking to upgrade. Give them a call at 1-833-52-STORM. That's 1-833-52-STORM. Locally owned, licensed, and insured, Cardinal Claim Consulting is a proud supporter of Johnston City Athletics. Roll Tribe!
And here we are. We are back at Trico High School for the fourth quarter. Johnson City 41, Trico 33. As they bring a bag of ice down to Wilkes, as Wilkes appears to be moving the shoulder a little better. And looks like he just popped that out of socket, popped it back into socket, but ouch. That is not a fun thing to mess with. Nolan Causey out of bounds as he throws into Connor Mowry. Mowry with the basketball, crossing the timeline as Connor throws into Nolan Causey. Causey back to Connor. Connor, 3 ball, no, up front of the rim, and the ball comes down to Brooks. Brooks with the basketball as he throws off to Clellan here on the near side. Clellan dribbling down and into the free throw line. He backs up beyond the 3-point and off to Johnson. Johnson with the basketball as he's looking left, looking right, going to Hines. Hines crosses in front of Clellan. He stops, tries to get the penetration down to Clellan, goes up for 2, no good. Leif Huxworth comes down with the rebound, and the ball goes to Nolan Causey. Causey off to Connor. Connor goes back and down, and he throws back to Logan Hunter. Hunter into Keaton Ford. Ford going down, up off the glass. It's good for 2. Keaton Ford scores 2. And it is fourth quarter action here at Trico High School. 43-33, 10-point lead for your Johnson City Indians. Clellan throws out to Johnson, swings it over to Hines. Hines looking again, back out to Johnson. Johnson fakes a three over to Brooks, swings it to Starkey. Starkey with the basketball, back to Johnson, over to Hines. Hines looking, he throws to Clellan. Clellan, long three ball off the back of the rim into the hands of Nolan Causey. Over to Lath. Lath goes over to Connor Mowry. Connor spins, jump shot, it's good. Connor Mowry scores two, and now the ball is inbounded to Starkey. 6:30 left here in the fourth quarter. Starkey with the basketball, crossing the timeline. As he looks left, looks right. He tries to hand the ball out to Clellan, but Clellan was trying to get some penetration. Clellan now beyond, right at the free throw line, as Lath Huxworth comes down with a rebound. Lath taking his time, throwing ahead to Nolan Causey. Causey with the basketball as he's getting pushed the entire way by Starkey. No call from the referee. Out to Logan Hunter, top of the key. Logan finds Lath. Lath over here, right at the free throw line, back out to Nolan. Nolan with the three. No, he fakes it and goes over to Keaton Ford. Ford, he throws it almost all the way as Nolan Causey throws it back down to Lath Huxworth. Into Keaton Ford, and the ball is off of Keaton, and they'll say it is Trico basketball. 5:45 left here in the fourth quarter as Heath Nibbs replaces Connor Mowry. Here in the fourth quarter, give him a short little rest. Reichenberg comes into the basketball game. Go to Brooks for Trico. Clellan inbounds the basketball to Hines. Hines taking the basketball, crossing the timeline. And ball is off here to Clellan. Clellan into Johnson. Johnson feeds it right back to Clellan. Three ball, no, it's short as Keaton Ford comes down with a rebound. It's stripped out of his hands, but it's pushed out of bounds by Trico. It'll be Johnson City basketball. 5:28 left here in the fourth quarter. Inbounded to Keaton Ford. Over to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs with the basketball across the line. He feeds it off to Noah Causey. Causey with the basketball, top of the key. As he dribbles back over to Lath. Lath signals, goes over here to Logan Hunter. Hunter with the basketball, feeds it into Keaton. Keaton Ford with the basketball, now to Lath. Lath going to the baseline, puts it up for two, and nope, he's fouled on the ground. It'll be Clellan who gets the second foul of the ball game. Team's eighth, and we go to the line to shoot 101. Lath Huxworth, the big man, standing at 6'7". 5:07 left here in the fourth quarter. Lath Huxworth for 101. Shot is good. Always love that high arch that he has on his free throws. Gives you a pretty good idea from the sideline where I'm sitting. And it's good. And now Reichenberg inbounds the basketball over to Clellan. Clellan now with the basketball as he crosses the timeline, throws over to Johnson here on the near side. Johnson back to Hines. Hines top of the key, throws back over to Clellan. Clellan right at the free throw line. Nope. He fakes off, throws out to Johnson. Johnson 10-footer, good. Johnson scores two. And now Nolan Causey with the basketball as he feeds it off to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs crossing up and making Trico fight for it. As Heath Nibbs takes his time, throws out to Nolan Causey, top of the key. Causey with the basketball as he looks left, looks right. 4:33 left here in the fourth quarter. Nolan Causey feeds it out to Heath. He thinks about the three, and he's called for travel. Brooks back into the ball game, replacing Reichenberg. 4:28 left here in the fourth quarter. Out of bounds for Clellan. He inbounds to Hines. 4:27 left here in the fourth quarter. 47-35, Johnson City's lead. Boston Payton and Connor Mowry ready to come in for the Indians. Starkey with the basketball here on the near side as he dribbles back towards top of the key, throws over to Brooks. Brooks with the basketball, back over to Johnson. Johnson swings it back to Hines. Hines on the far side still as he dribbles back this way, throws over to Brooks. Brooks throws out to Clellan, top of the key. Clellan took two steps, no call from the referee, as they've called that every time on Johnson City. Three ball by Clellan is good. 47-38, 9-point lead for Johnson City as Keaton Ford hands it back over to Heath Nibbs, and Coach Scott Brzezinski wants a timeout. 3:48 left here in the fourth quarter, 47-38, Johnson City's lead. We'll be right back on Monster Radio, WGGH.
Your go-to spot in Johnson City is Lineman's Lounge. Whether it's before or after the big game, Lineman's Lounge has you covered. On the gridiron, on the court, or between the lines, your go-to spot has to be Lineman's Lounge. Check out their daily specials, listen to live music on weekends, and they always are hosting local benefits. Go see the amazing staff at Lineman's Lounge, 100 East Broadway in Johnson City. Roll Tribe.
IBEW Local 702, an International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, has more than 4,500 members. Working men and women in hard hats, steel-toed boots, and leather gloves scattered throughout the heartland, making a living while making the heartland a better place to live. IBEW Local 702 represents construction workers, tree trimmers, broadcast engineering, telephone company, and power utility personnel. IBEW Local 702 with offices in West Frankfort.
And as we return you to the basketball game, 3:48 left here in the fourth quarter. Johnson City 47, Trico 38. Logan Hunter is out of bounds for the Johnson City Indians. Logan Hunter slaps the basketball. He throws into Connor Mowry. Mowry with the basketball as he dribbles down to the free throw line. 2 steps. It's up, and Logan Hunter fighting for the basketball. Lath Huxworth comes up with the loose ball, goes up for 2, and it is good. Clella coming quickly back the other way. 3:33 left here in the ball game as he throws off to Hines. Hines, 3-ball, top of the key, no good. Clella with the rebound. He goes up for 2, and there's a foul on Lath Huxworth. 2 shots. And they're going to call it on Lath. That's his 4th, team's 5th. And going to the line to shoot 2 will be Logan Clellan. He dribbles, sets, shot is no good, in and out. 3:24 left here in the fourth quarter. An 11-point lead for Johnson City. Clellan sets. And no, misses that one. And it is off of Trico. It'll be Johnson City basketball. Clellan is 2 for 6 from the charity stripe. As Connor Maurer with the basketball, he throws ahead to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs going back to Logan Hunter. Logan Hunter got called for a travel as he was just trying to pass the ball, but it is going to be out of bounds for Trico. 3:17 left here in the fourth quarter. Out to Johnson. Johnson 2-pointer. No. Lath Huxworth comes up with a rebound high off the glass. Lath definitely wanting this one as he throws off to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs now with the basketball. Hands off to Connor Mowry. Mowry crossing the timeline as he dribbles back. A lot of pressure coming from Trico as Connor dribbles down to Logan. Logan back out to Lath Huxworth, top of the key. Hands it back off to Connor Mowry. Mowry here on the near side. 5-second count is on. He throws over to Boston Payton on the far side. Boston goes back to Logan. Logan feeds it off to Heath Nibbs. Nibbs here on the near side as he goes down. Baseline up for 2. Good. Heath Nibbs scores 2. And Johnson City puts another 2 up on the board. Clellan with the basketball. Takes a long 3. Good. Wow. That was a long 3, and I got to give him that one. I did not expect that to fall. Lath Huxworth into Logan Hunter. Hunter going over to Connor. Connor on the far side as he's looking. He's trying to get something. 5-second count is on. He's got to do something. And now he gets away from his defender. Second count. Timeout is taken by Coach Scott Brzezinski. We'll take one as well. 2:08 left here in the fourth quarter. It is 51-41, 10-point lead for the Johnson City Indians. We'll be right back on Monster Radio WGGH.
The Johnston City Indians strive for excellence in athletics. And at Johnston City Unit 1 schools, the administration, Board of Education, and faculty strive for excellence in the classroom as well. The mission of Johnston City schools is to prepare their students for life in the 21st century. Johnston City teachers and coaches want to produce students who are value-driven, problem-solving, critical thinkers ready for life beyond high school. From math champions to sports champions, Johnston City has set the bar high. Good luck, Indians, in all your endeavors from Johnston City Unit 1.
And we return you to Trico basketball at Trico High School. Johnson City Indians lead by 10, 51-41, 2:08 left here in the fourth quarter. An excellent game played by both teams here tonight. Inbounded to Connor Mowry from Heath Nibbs. Connor with the basketball. Throws ahead to Heath Nibbs here. Just across the timeline. There's a foul. And it'll be here on the sideline. Or are they going to call a foul? They got to get it in. Logan Hunter gets the basketball in. And there's a foul. It'll be on 33. That's on Johnson. It's his second, team's ninth. And Logan Hunter will go to the line to shoot 1-on-1. Logan Hunter sets. Shots up. And Lath got pushed in the back as he went up for the rebound. Heath Nibbs throws it away as he travels just before he passes the ball off. And out of bounds is Hines. Hines throws into Clellan. Clellan with the basketball. Minute 55 left here in the fourth quarter. As Clellan goes over to the far side. Clellan dribbling back this way as he tries to find Johnson at the free throw line. Goes into Hines. Hines, three ball, good. Brady Hines scores three. And Johnson City now with the basketball. Minute 38 left here in the ball game. And there is a push-off. It is from number 10. That is Starkey. It's his third. Team's 10th. And we should be at two fouls. We should be at two shots. Two shots. Buzz it. Two shots. Two shots. Okay, there we go. Woo. Two shots for Connor Mowry. Head into the line. Minute 34 left here in the fourth quarter. 51-44. First shot for Connor. It's up. Oh, it's in and out. And Logan Hunter will take a seat for just a second for Isaiah Watson. Connor sets, dribbles. Here is his second shot. It's good. So it is 52-44. Clellan taking the basketball quickly back this way as Clellan. He throws out to Starkey. Starkey fakes the three and throws back to Hines. Hines back to Starkey. Starkey looking side to side as he tries to get the penetration, loses his footing, throws it, falls down. There's a timeout taken by Trico. Taking a full timeout. We'll take one as well. A minute 17 left here in the fourth quarter. 52-44. We'll be right back on Monster Radio, WGGH.
Some people think the daily moves of the market make stress inevitable when it comes to investing, but it doesn't have to be this way. Hi, I'm Ashton Stevens, your Johnson City Edward Jones financial advisor. One stress reducer is to have a plan and stick with it during the market's ups and downs. Here's another. Periodically rebalance your investments to align with your needs and risk comfort, and have a good financial advisor to sit down and talk to. Contact me today at 618-983-6317. Keeping your investments under control can help keep your emotions in check. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Bandy's Drugs has been a big part of Johnston City since 1977. Not only is Bandy's Johnston City's hometown pharmacy, they carry a variety of gifts, including Yankee candles for all seasons. Gary and Tammy Bandy know Johnston City. They support not only Johnston City athletics, but the community as a whole. Give them a call at 618-983-8272 or visit them at 905 Grand Avenue in Johnston City. That's Bandy's Drugs in Johnston City. Roll Tribe.
Roll Tribe indeed, as the Trico Pioneers are out of bounds right in front of their bench. Brooks is the out-of-bounds thrower as he throws to Clellan, top of the key. Clellan looks over, jump shot, three is no good, and the ball goes to Johnson, and a jump ball is called. It's in possession of Trico. Neither side of the crowd agreed with that call, whether it be our side or their side, And Cleland takes the basketball to Johnson, swings it over to Hines. Hines back out to Starkey. Starkey looking over here to Brooks. Brooks over to Cleland. Cleland dribbles in to the paint, pushes off of Isaiah Watson. Ball's blocked, and there's a foul. It'll be on Boston Payton, I believe. Yes, it is. That's his third, team sixth. And Logan Hunter will come in to replace Boston Payton, I believe. Logan Cleland heading to the line to shoot two. 59.1 seconds left. Shots up. Good. Make that 3 for 8. I'm sorry, 3 for 7. Isaiah Watson he's replacing. Cleland with his second shot. Shots up. No good. That was way off out of his hand. And the ball comes in to Boston Payton as the wild ball goes. And there is a lot of pushing and shoving not being called. He's pushed. And Heath Nibbs gets caught by the Trico coach as they hug it out. And the foul was on who? That was on number 10. It's Starkey, his fourth. And they're already at 10 fouls, so Heath Nibbs will go to the line to shoot two. Heath Nibbs sets the line, aggressively bouncing the basketball. Shots up. Good. There you go, Heath. And Isaiah Watson replacing Logan Hunter. Big smooth. 47.5 seconds, and it's good. Second shot, and here comes. Basketball throws over to Brooks. Brooks feeds it over to Cleland. Cleland back to Johnson. Johnson top of the key, down to the paint, up for two, and there's a blocking foul on Boston Payton. It'll be his fourth, team seventh. And to the line to shoot two is Johnson. 37 seconds left. Shots up and no good. Logan Hunter in for Isaiah Watson. 37 seconds. 54-45. 9-point lead for Johnson City. Can Johnson make his second, make it a 8-point lead? It's no good, and the ball goes down to Cleland. Cleland goes up to Johnson. Johnson puts it in somehow for two. That was a Michael Jordan wraparound. And oh my Lanta. There's a foul. It'll be on number 23. That is on Keegan Brooks, his fourth. And we go to the line to shoot two. Connor Mowry lining it up. 26.6 seconds left here in the ball game. Connor sets, bounces again, shot is no good. Into the ball game is Isaiah Watson and replaces Logan Hunter once again. Connor Mowry sets, shots up, good. Connor Mowry makes it as Cleland takes the basketball. And he crosses the timeline. 21 seconds now. Cleland takes a huge three, and no good as the ball's put back up by Hines, knocked out of bounds by Lath Huxworth. 15.2 seconds. Lath, do not foul. We appreciate you slapping the balls away. Just do not foul. Brooks out of bounds as he inbounds it to Starkey. Nope, it's inbounded to Heath Nibbs. He knocks it out of bounds. 14.5 seconds now left. As Trico takes the ball out of bounds. Cleland, the tall man, will take it for the Pioneers. He throws it off of Isaiah Watson's butt, spins, puts it up for two, no good. Heath Nibbs comes down with a rebound. And now there's another foul. And fouls on 23. It's Keegan Brooks. That's his fifth. And go to Heath Nibbs. Reichenberg will replace him. And Heath Nibbs will go to the line to shoot two. 9.2 seconds left here as Heath Nibbs takes his 2 shots. It's up. Good. Makes it 56-47. See if he can make it a 10-point lead again. 9.2 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Shots up. Good. 10-point lead for Johnson City. Trico with the basketball. Clellan going strong up the court. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. He takes a 3. It's tipped. Heath Nibbs comes down with the ball, and Johnson City has pulled this one out. Johnson City 57. It is Trico 47. You're listening to Monster Radio WGGH.
Is your dog a part of your tribe? Don't forget your pup needs pampered too. Locally owned by Jasmine Barton, Toes to Nose will have your pup pampered and smelling fresh and clean. And now they are offering boarding as well. Located at 610 Adams Street in Johnson